Good evening, sir. My name is Hitesh Kumar. I am going to present the presentation about the case study of the breach information. The subject is CYB 601 Assessment 3. We are four members in my group: Hitesh Kumar, myself, Harsh Kumar, Komal, and Sachin. So, we are going to start with the breach information. So, first slide, table of contents. So breach information, Optus discover breach. Breach has an Optus and its customers. Measure did Optus have in place, legal and regulatory implications, Optus data breach. So first start with the breach information. An outside entity gained access to the internal Optus email account in December 2020, resulting in a data breach. About 50,000 Optus subscribers had their personal information compromised due to this hack. The Australian Communications and Media Authority (ACMA) alerted Optus to issue after it discovered that customer information was being sold on the dark web. Because of this, Optus immediately began looking into the matter. Sensitive client information, such as what leaked due to the hacking of an employee's email account. First, identities. The names of customers were made public, which might make identity theft and the other forms of fraud more like on the part of the criminals. Addresses. Individuals' home addresses were exposed, creating a potential security concern in addition to other negative outcomes. Dates of birth. Birth dates of customers were among the disclosed data for purpose of identity theft and the targeted phishing. This information is very important. Phone numbers and email addresses may have been among the compromised information. Phishing and the other sorts of the cyber attack often make advantage of the such details. Next slide. Optus discover breach. As soon as Optus learned of the security issues, it took swift and the decisive action. Optus has begun an internal investigation into the incident to ascertain its full extent and the nature. The purpose of the inquiry was to learn how to extensive illegal access was, how much customer data could have been compromised, and what caused the breach to occur. Optus swiftly alerted its clients whose personal data has been exposed. Sharing its information is crucial for being transparent and the information those who may be impacted. Optus informed the Australian Information Commissioner and the other relevant regulatory agencies about the compromise in the accordance with the data breach reporting laws. This is the mandatory procedure for meeting the requirements of data privacy laws and the regulations. Next slide with the next member, Komal. Thank you.
Thank you. Here, Optus discover breach. Optus cooperated extensively with the law authorities throughout the investigation into the hack. The goal of a collaboration was to track out the intruder and bring them to justice as well as to collect evidence for future cases. Strengthening safety prosecution, Optus has added security measures after releasing the urgency of the need the better protect customer information. The implementation of two-factor authentication and the tightening of password regulation were among these steps. These changes are made to secure consumer data and stop future breaches. Next slide, please. Breach has an Optus and its customers. Damaged reputation with the clients, loss of confidence among Optus clients base was among the most pressing and important outcomes of the incident. Customers place their faith in the telecommunication firms, and violation of that trust may have a serious consequences. Customers who believe their privacy has been invaded may stop using Optus services, with would be bad for a business. Possible monetary repercussion. Optus might have suffered financially as a result of the incident. If a company is discovered to have violated data protections regulations, a data breach may result in hefty fines and penalties. Notifying impacted clients and conducting an investigation and installing security measures may all add up to hefty price tag. The data leak prompted investigation by law information and government agencies, the Australian Communication and Media Authority, and the Australian Information Commissioner both looked at Optus practices and issued warning. These measures may result in monitoring by the authorities. Next slide, please. Breach has an Optus and its customers. Disruption and to operations. Dealing with data breach is a time consuming and taxing on a company resources. Optus spent a lot of time and money figuring out what happened and working with the authorities, notifying impact customers and beefing up security. The firm may have a difficulty in providing services as a result of the interpretation. The breach not only cost Optus money, but is also damaged the company's image. The media's public image may take a bad turn if they learn about the incident, how it was handled. Next slide, please. Measures did Optus have in a place? Optus used the firewalls and prevent outsiders from accessing and causing harm to their internal network. Firewalls enough to stop sophistication which occurs on the inside as system. It's probable that Optus had this system in a place to spot. The method may be useful for finding security holes, but they would not capture every event. This is especially true if the breach remains undetected or if he unauthorized access seems illegal. Optus has invited an employee training programs to teach workers about security-based practices and the signification protecting customers. Next slide to move to next member, Sachin.
Measures did Optus have in place? The Optus Act debate this safeguard related flow and the company approach to data security. The Act accurate when employee email account was accessed without permission, which may have been permission owing the employees lack of now of training. Optus have take a further speculation to secure customer information in the wake of the hack strong password rules and the use of multi-factor authorization, where among these steps by require many different authorization method. MFA increase the difficult for hack to get access to your account. Next slide. Legal and regulatory implication. For formal warning by ACMA. Optus receive a formal warning from the Australian Communication and Media Authority for failing to efficient secure consumer information. As a result, of failing to adapt protect client information. Optus was issue a formal warning by regulate Private Act of 1988 violation. The probable breach of the Privacy Act 1988 was one of the most significant legal concerned organization in Australia must adhere to this law. We did with customer data. Optus might be subject to fine and legal action for breaking the Privacy Act if it's proven that firm and did not take reasonable protection to secure that personal information of its customer that was complained in the increase investigation by Australian Information Commissioner. The event protect and equipped by the Australian Information Commissioner investigation whether or not Optus had follow its privacy law required. Optus may face further legal ramifications is a result of this trouble if it is found to be non-compliant. Next slide present to Ars Kumar.
Hi. Legal and regulation implication. To address the legal and regulation implication, Output took the following step. Cooperation with investigation. Output's work had to give the appropriate information and assistance to regulatory authorized information commissioner. The company wishes to cooperate here thus shows its reverse the issue open and legally enhanced security measure. Optus added the new signification in the wake of the hack and its preparation of possible regulation action. Stronger password rules and the use of the multi-factor authorization MFA where along this step this measure were taken to show the company's dedication to the boosting the data security. Customer notification. Optus aware of his the abolition under the data privacy contract the impact the customer quickly. This way done to the both meet legal requirements and the be open the honest with the those who might be impacted. Remediation effort. Optus may have the taken the conviction measure to the reminders impact customers depending on the result of the investigation and the subsequent legal proceeding. Service like the credit nomination or the protection against the identity fell under this category. Now the next slide, please. Optus data branch. Organization need to take the strong to secure the sensitive information such as implication data in the trust multi-factor authorization MFA and conduction frequency security adults using these tools you have maybe listened that's like put the sum of the will the settle your private data training and education for the workers. The most common cause of data loss is still the human mistake investment in the staff training and education program that emphasizing security-based practice and the risky important hiding the sensitive data is the estimate for the everyone organization. Conducting security and the monitoring for the supporting activity on the regular basis may be assistant identify and security branch at the earlier stage by taking this prevention. Next place, please. When the data when a data branch occurs, the business must work closely with the operating regularity against this invoice in things like making information available, responding to regular contracts, and impacting suggestion of security upgrade. communication with the customer and the opens in circular in order to retain the condition and give the impacts customer time to take the protective measure. Business should tell them of the data branch as soon as possible and it's such much detail as possible. Consolidating better. Cyber attack change quickly to prevent data branch business must upgrade their security system. Regularly security measure must involve the release the regular basis. Understanding and following the data privacy rules and regulation that apply the organization local and hence there may be monitoring and legal restriction for not doing so. Next page, please. There is some references show there.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.